All right, good morning, everyone. It is the 22nd of March, 2021 at about 8:40 in the morning, and this is my strategy session for the day. So I put Fibonacci retracement on this run up, this pre-market run up on Tesla today. And that's where I got these two entry levels here. I have 677.26 and 673.20. I also have an alarm on 654.25. And I have it there, so if these two levels don't work out, and then by the time of day, if 10:30 rolls around and it comes down here and touches 654.25, I'll take another entry. But for right now, I'm looking for a bounce at either one of these numbers, 677. And now Tesla can be pretty volatile. So my highest rate of confidence is on the 673 number. And so we'll see. Everything changes once the bell rings and price starts moving. Volume and momentum and so forth. I'll see what's going on with it at the time. The plan right now is to put 100 shares here at 677 and then 200 shares at 673. That plan might change. 15 minutes until the bell, I might decide to instead average into 300 shares, in increments between these two numbers. So, we'll see. Right now, looking for a bounce at 677.26, and then if I take profits on that, then the next bounce I'm looking for would be at 673.20. All right, AMRS. Now, the AMRS is a stock that I played on Friday, and it's continuing its move up here. And so on this one, I don't remember, I used the old Fibonacci, and this 2135 number is, I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to take 2135 off for a second here. Okay. So right now, I have basically one number as an entry according to the Fibonacci's. This number is 2104. Now 2187 is there in case it moves up above 2187, comes back and tests, and then moves away again, will be the strategy. So the reason that I have 2135 here is on the daily, you can see the top of this breakdown candle, the open, actually I should say not the top, but the open of this breakdown candle right here is $21.35. So there's a possibility that a bounce will happen right here off of this open and continue higher. Really bullish chart here. You can see, this is, let me get a different line there. So, up, a little bit of a sort of, you can't really call it consolidation, but, a move down with a little consolidation zone in here, then a breakout, move up, consolidation area, breakout, dip back down. It's there's a lot going on in those lines, but a fairly bullish looking chart here. And so today I'm looking for just a slight pullback, a little bit of profit taking here, and then a move up. And my entries are at 2135 and 2104. I'll probably stagger, 500 shares between these two prices, between 2135 and 2104, for a move up to 2187, and God willing, above. Okay, so then the next two I have on watch here are Ksu and Csx. Now, one is buying the other, and I've forgotten which it is. Canadian Pacific Railway to acquire Kansas City Southern in cash. Stock deal bringing $29 billion enterprise value. So I think that's combined, the two will be worth $29 billion. So let's see. Kansas City is the one being acquired, and CSX is the one doing the acquiring. It's been my experience. I don't have so I have levels on these things. However, I don't have a high degree of confidence in either one. So usually the acquiree, the one in this case, Kansas City Southern, the price doesn't move too much. Usually once a price is determined for the purchase of a company, then the stock movement, you can just pretty much see flat stock movement for the most of the day. Things could be different. There could be something I don't know about this one. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. There might be profit taking in here, but the valuation is the valuation. So the stock tends to not really move, although there is a range in the pre-market here from about 260 to 270, a $10 range. So, who knows? All right. And then the acquirer, in my experience, has gotten hit. The stock price will take a dip because they're the one that is taking the cash balance. Their balance sheet is going to take a hit because they're paying out. Now, and they're taking on a liability, so their assets and liability balance get knocked off. So I think that I'll probably just watch these two today. If CSX starts showing strength at one of these two levels, in particular the 93.32 level, and starts really running away from that level, then I might jump in for a trade. Well, we'll have to see. I've traded acquisitions a couple of times, and I've done okay on them, but it's because for some reason in recent history, the acquiree has been catching a bid, and I've been doing this since 2006. On and off, and full time I've been doing it for about 2 years, and it's been my past experience, and I don't have the numbers on it or anything, but my past experience shows that the acquirer, the one doing the buying of the other, that stock price takes a hit. We'll see what happens today. All right, so then small cap momentum. Let's see, Spirit. Okay. So support.com to merge with Greenidge Generation, targeting power generation and Bitcoin mining. Shares jump. So Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin miners, the news on Bitcoin entries, companies entering into the cryptocurrency mining have been catching a bid lately. And an example of that, there are a few examples, but the first one that I can really kind of pull up as reference here is Sino. Sino is a company that I'm keeping an eye on the price. I'm looking for a pullback on Sino in order to invest. This is a global shipping company that's recently jumped into crypto mining. And there's just something about global shipping and cryptocurrency mining, the combination of the two that, and I still haven't done the fundamental research. On investments, I'll rely on fundamental research. On trades, I'm just looking for technicals. Although for this company, I will be looking for a technical indicator for an entry for an investment. And so that's just sort of an example of what kind of action you can expect on SPRT here. And you can see in March 2020, and I guess it's done a fairly good job of moving from bottom left to top right here since March. Although it's only from $1 here to 250 as a high. If it opened right now, it would open at $7.89 a share. So I have it on watch. It's small cap momentum has been rather finicky in recent months. So if it's hitting the scanner and it's making the moves and it's behaving according to momentum, then I'll trade it. A little bit of a high float here at 19 million shares. In pre-market, it's already traded 43 million, so it's a crowded trade. And actually, it will probably obey some Fibonacci levels here. So I'll have a Fibonacci on it here in order to kind of keep an eye on where it looks like it's going to bounce and where it's going to get support and resistance and so forth. All right, and so then DYAI is the other small cap that I have, small cap momentum that I have on watch. In this one, March 18th was the news. They're working on this company is the news that, so TradingView doesn't have the news for today's bump. So I'm going to read it from my Street Smart Edge news here. DYAI and Metatox to develop vaccines against COVID-19 variants. DYAI International, Metatox company to co-develop C1-enabled COVID-19 vaccines and/or boosters. Manufacturing protocols to produce vaccines from C1 have been successfully transferred and reproduced at Metatox. I don't know, the COVID trade, I mean, it's kind of worn out at this point. The COVID vaccines, the COVID news, the so on and so on that everybody was, in those stocks, they were, anytime somebody announced any kind of a COVID advancement, whatever, since early of 2020 to mid of 2020, even into late 2020, things have just gone through the roof. One of them, for example, is Kodak. Here, I'll pull up Kodak here real quick. CODK, right? Yeah, Kodak. Look at this thing here. I'll go back on the daily. Let's put it in for a weekly. 1 week. You can see Kodak, went to $60 a share from $2 a share on the news that it was developing some kind of a film, whatever for COVID, whatever. I don't know, but let's see. That was July of 2020. I think this trade, this sort of narrative behind the trade is a bit worn out. I don't think that COVID. It's just worn itself out. So, not a high rate of conviction on DYAI. Small cap biotech. It's they can be pretty volatile, and they can trap a lot of traders. So it's on watch. If it behaves according to momentum, then I will trade it. Okay. So that is pretty much the deal for this morning. Let's see. I'm going to bring the 10-year. So the 10-year here, you can see, is taking a dip down. The risk range on the 10-year is 175, and expecting a move back down into the 150s, which will give the market a boost. The market will like to see that. I think it's going to be temporary. Inflation is forecast to go as high as 2.4%. It seems to me, as of right now, the front month, the next month of inflation report is expected to be about 1.7. So the 10-year is going to attract, or is going to track the inflation rate. Now it might pull back a bit and then come down and then come back up and so forth. But as of today, it's down pre-market here, down 2.66%. So the market, meaning industrials, well, actually not industrials, sorry, tech and all the other things that are rate sensitive, metals. What else is rate sensitive? There are a few things that are oil, perhaps. Although oil likes the rising 10-year. Well, anyway, so I imagine it's probably the 10-year is gonna pull back a little bit here. The rates on the 10-year are gonna pull back a little bit, and so we ought to see some strength in tech today. Okay, everybody, that is what I have on watch today. That's sort of what I'm seeing on the market. And with that, I will see you at the recap. Good luck out there today. Keep your risk tight. Let's make money. And I will see you at the recap. Out.